Greetings, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Coaching for Coaches, the show that is designed to give you some really common sense, but not necessarily common practice ways that you can build a great coaching business and ultimately build the life of your dreams. If you're here, if you're watching, just want to let you know this weekend, at the time of doing this video, we have one of our free one-day life coaching certifications running this weekend, Saturday, July the 10th. There are, I believe, at the time of doing this live, still 5 seats available for that. So in this broadcast today, we're going to specifically talk about niching. I'm going to debunk some myths for you, some really common sense things that are not common practice when it comes to niching. Over the years, I've wrestled with niching, and it was a real challenge for me in the early days. And then I had some really key lessons, distinctions, teachings, things I've learned from mentors that really helped me to simplify niching. And I think that a lot of people overcomplicate it. So first, I want to kind of really check in with you and check in with the reason that you're here. I'm going to make the assumption that the reason why you're here right now is because you are either already a coach or you're wanting to become a coach. And right now, you either just starting out, don't have any clients, or you've been coaching for a while, trying to get this coaching thing working, and you haven't got as many clients as you want. And where you ultimately want to be is obviously in a place where you've got a great, thriving coaching business that pays you what you're worth and that generates an income that lets you help people and also lets you do what you want, where you want, with whoever you want. So I'm going to make the assumption that in some form or another is where you want to be. So if that's where you are now, is this place of not having the business you truly dream and deserve of, not having enough clients, just getting started. And where you want to be is having, amazing clients that you love, that you serve, that make a difference to, and the business is paying you exactly what you want. You're working the exact hours you want, living where you want, ultimate lifestyle freedom, ultimate fulfillment and happiness. Then would it be fair to say, potentially, would it be fair that the strategy that you're currently running right now, the operating system of the mind, if the mind is like a computer, the operating system that you're running currently might not get you potentially to where you want to get to? If that would be fair to say, put yes in the chat. I believe in the saying, what got you here won't necessarily get you there. I believe that in life, we are very good at upgrading our things. Getting a new mobile phone every couple of years, getting a new car every few years, some people's cases, new clothes, right? We are often in a society of buying new things, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's us wanting to upgrade ourselves. However, I don't think often we're as intentional as upgrading ourselves in terms of spiritually, emotionally, physically. And I believe that the fastest way for you to get to that point is through this subject that I'm talking to you about today, which is niching. And it's really about you having a different mindset, a different way of looking at niching and upgrading your mindset around niching. So I've got loads of notes. I've got lots of things I want to talk to you about today. But my key thing I'm going to do today, by the end of the session, is I'm going to give you 3 really, really simple fundamentals that I've learned about niching. 3 things that, if you were with me back in November 2012, you'd have found me living in the back of my friend's gym in East London. I was training there 7 days a week, but I'd had a bad breakup with a then girlfriend. So I moved in and I lived there for about 6 months, and I was homeless, right? And then I managed to get a lucky opportunity to attend an event with Tony Robbins, and got given a ticket, attended this event. It gave me the upgrade of self that I ultimately felt I needed. And fast forward to today, I now get to deliver speaking on behalf of Tony Robbins. And I've got clients in like movies like The Matrix and X Factor and 250,000 views online, all this kind of stuff that I tell you not to brag or anything like that, but just to really show you that when you upgrade yourself, when you upgrade your mind, it's amazing what you can happen. And I'm not going to I'm going to tell you a little bit more now, which is that when I first started my coaching, it was a bit of a struggle. I had one client in the first few months, and then they cancelled after 2 months because she said, I love the sessions, but I don't think I need it right now. So a lot of what happened to me in the beginning was because I was doing this niching bit wrong. And I'm going to share with you three really fundamental things that if you do these three things will really simplify niching for you and really, really help you to really understand how easy niching can be when you get it right. So firstly, I'm going to tell you a story. And the story is that once upon a time, Mrs. Grant Satie, when she really got into training, came home one day with a big tub of protein powder, right? Those big tubs of like powdered stuff. And I said, oh, cool, you bought some protein. Amazing. I said, you should have just told me, you could have used mine. And she went, yeah, but yours is for bodybuilders. Yours is to like get big muscles. I said, let's compare, because I'm into nutrition and stuff even then. I said, let's compare the ingredients of the tubs, because I knew that there were many protein tubs out there that were good, many tubs out there that were not so good, many full of sugar and processed carbs and all that stuff. So anyway, we put our tubs side by side, and on Satie's tub, it had got the macronutrient breakdown. On mine, it got the macronutrient breakdown. And in Satie's, there was a considerably higher amount of sugar than there was in mine, a considerably higher amount of carbohydrates than there was in mine. And I said to Satie, look, what's happening is they are effectively marketing. They're putting a label on the outside to try and market to a particular person. And their marketing has enticed you because it's got a slender woman on the front and you want to be a slender woman. And so the point here I'm making is, if the bodybuilder tub didn't have a label on it, it wouldn't attract anyone, right? So the first thing that you need to know about marketing, and this was a lesson for Satie, and it's a lesson for anyone, is the first thing that you've got to do, and this is like number one mistake that people make when it comes to niching, is you need to know who your person is. I don't know if you can see that, but you need to know who your ideal client is, and you need to know what you need to know about them. So in this case, Satie was a female wanting to use a protein powder because she felt that it was going to help her achieve her fitness goals, right? So here's one of the key things that a lot of people get wrong with niching. A lot of people think that it's the business that you have to niche, and it isn't. The niche is just the label on the outside. What do I mean by that? Well, what I mean by that is you can have multiple different niches, and then the deliverable is exactly the same thing. So there are protein powder companies, to keep that as the example. There are protein powder companies out there who have the same, pretty much the same powder inside, but with labels on the outside that are different. So for example, there are protein companies out there that I know have a tub, and on the outside it says weight loss. There are other ones that I know that say it has muscle building. And if you know anything about nutrition, you'll know that to build muscle and to lose weight requires sometimes similarities in terms of diet. So when I compare those nutrition labels of the lose weight and the build muscle, there are very, very strong similarities. However, if that tub said on the outside, I can help you lose weight, tone up, build muscle and everything, no one would buy it. No one would buy it, because what's that saying? Jack of all trades, master of none. If you want to get a new driveway fitted, if you want to get a new driveway done, put in the chat, who would you choose if there were two ads in a paper? Would you choose Jack of all trades, who says you can do driveways, gardens, patios, you can do everything, windows, everything. You don't know either of these people, so there's no previous trust bill. Would you pick that person, or would you pick the person that says Birmingham's #1 driveway specialist, if you live in Birmingham, obviously? Which one would you pick? Put in the chat. Now, I already know which one you pick. You pick the driveway specialist. Why? Because they're a specialist. Now, they may do all the other things, but if they put all the other things in their marketing, then there is no way of differentiating themselves from everybody else, and it doesn't show them to be an expert. So the number one mistake that a lot of people make in their niching is they think, oh, but I can help everyone. And here's the key thing with coaching. You can help everyone, but you can't market to everyone. One of my clients has an incredible program that is specifically relationship program, and it works for men and women. But she has two forms of advertising going out on social media. She has a Facebook ad for men and a Facebook ad for women. The program is exactly the same, right? So those of you that have been through our CEPC process, some people often ask, do the scripts that you use, does the system that we buy into, does that work for any niche? I'm like, yeah, because a person isn't a niche. Just to be clear, a person is not a niche. A person is a person, right? With problems and challenges and stuff. So this individual who understands this, oh, but I can do relationship coaching for anyone. Great. We have an advertisement for men, which is speaking a very different language, and an advertisement for women. Like the different protein powders, you need a label on the outside. So if you're thinking about your coaching business as you need to niche down, you don't need to niche down. You need the label on the outside to be specific to one person. And then what's inside your tub, forgive me for overusing this protein metaphor, but whatever's inside is entirely up to you. Well, it's not. It's got to be related to the person and what they need. But the point I'm making is too many coaches are trying to niche what's in the powder. They're trying to niche the powder. You don't need to niche the powder. You just need to niche the label on the outside. Who is it for? Married dads with 3 kids. That's the label on the outside. The first thing that you got to do is you got to know who your person is. And that is not a niche. That's just what is the label on the outside. Who is it for? All right. If this is making sense, put yes, this makes sense. This is great. Whatever. Just put yes. Let me know that it makes sense. In fact, I'm going to throw the comments up so I can see who's here. Good morning, Lucy. Great to have you here. Good morning, Nanny. Good morning, Harold. Great to have you. Great to have you all here. If you're here, let me know that you're here. Put hello in the chat. If you're watching on Facebook, you may need to activate. There's probably a button that says allow your comments to be shown in StreamYard. If you're watching on Facebook Live, those comments won't show up unless you say that you're happy to put your comments on StreamYard. So make sure you click that. Okay, next thing to simplify niching. The second thing, which is arguably the most important part of niching, and this is the bit that invariably all coaches get wrong in the beginning, and it's the bit that's really quite simple once you get it, is you've got to know, good morning, Ian Wilson, good morning, Jerry, good morning, Natasha, great to have you here. The next thing that you need to do is you need to establish the client's pain. Stephen Covey wrote a great book called 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And in that book, it says, if you want to be understood, seek first to understand. That's really, really important. If you want to be understood, seek first to understand. Meaning if there's someone with conflict, you have conflict with, then what you got to do is think about, well, put yourself in their shoes. The best way to build great relationships with other people that you maybe have some form of conflict with is to put yourself fully in their shoes. Oh yeah, but they said this and they said that, but they did this to me. Put yourself in their shoes. If you really want to have a great relationship, if you really want to influence that person, put yourself in their shoes. So what you've got to do here is ask yourself the question, what is the pain that the client is experiencing? Let me tell you a story about pain. A couple of years ago, I had horrendous wisdom tooth pain. It's 9:30 at night, getting into bed. Tried ibuprofen, hasn't worked. Tried salt water, all the natural remedy stuff I could find in the house, hasn't worked, right? So I did what anybody would do in their right mind. I looked up a late night pharmacy. There was one open till midnight. I drove there. I walked in the door. I think I've got tissue hanging literally Oh, what's the strongest painkiller? What's your strongest painkillers? Walked in, the pharmacist looked at me like, she was like, she could see, I think she could see I was in pain. She went to the back. She was like, oh, she was like, take two of these, right? She even got a cup of water for me because she didn't want me to have to wait till I went home, bless her. She said, take two of these now and you should be able to get to sleep. Make sure you go to the dentist in the morning. I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, I will. I'm going to go straight away in the morning. I didn't plan on doing that. Eating Post-it notes. Anyway, where was I? I've lost my train of thought. So I took the painkillers. I don't know how much they were. I didn't care. And I went home, went to bed, slept, managed to get to sleep, went to the dentist in the morning. End of story. What is my point? My point is none of us would rush out. Jerry, Ian, Anwar, Alfred, Harold, Nanny. We wouldn't rush out for our weekly supply, our monthly supply of multivitamins when we've just got, you get into bed 9:30 at night, you're all cozy, snuggled in, significant other, you just got it on, now you can sleep, cozy. Damn it! What is it, sweetheart? I've run out of multivitamins. I've got to go out and get them now. You wouldn't do that, would you? You would not do that. You wouldn't rush out. Good morning, Carrie. Good morning, Matilda. You wouldn't rush out for multivitamins at 9:30 at night when you just got into bed after making love to your significant other. You wouldn't do it. And the reason you wouldn't do that is because you're not in any pain. So the second part of niching, to make it really simple, is you have to be, write this down. You have not write this down. You have to be the painkiller in the person's life, not a vitamin. Be the painkiller, not the vitamin. Be a painkiller, not a vitamin. What do you mean by painkiller, Miles? What I mean is, let me kind of give you let me tell you something that you're not going to want to hear. Let me tell you something that it's kind of going to make you go, ooh, a little bit. Come in close. I'll whisper it. Come in close. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come closer. Come on. If I'm going to come this close to the camera, you have to do it as well. See up my nose. You ready? No one really wants to buy coaching. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news. No one really wants coaching. No one wants coaching. No one wants to sit in an airport for 3 hours each way. No one wants that. Sit in an airport for 3 hours each way. No one wants that. What they want is a holiday. Right? In most cases, no, I don't want to go to the gym at 5 a.m. But what I do want is good health. I don't want to brush my teeth before bed, but I want good teeth. So what you've got to know is that the thing that you're trying to sell, coaching, people don't want that. What they want is the solution to a problem. They want a solution to a problem. So the question you got to ask yourself is, how is coaching, Harold says hurts, how is coaching going to solve, what problem, what pain, to go back for those of you that are joining us here late, what pain is your coaching going to solve? I'm going to tell you a story from my fitness membership sales days. A lady came into the gym for a look around. I'm here for a look around. I've only got 10 minutes. Can you show me around as quickly as possible, please? Don't give me any of your sales patter. Just give me a quick whiz around tour. And then give me a price list because I've literally got 10 minutes. Okay, right. So I proceeded to show this lady around as fast as possible. Couldn't wait to get rid of her. I'm thinking, will she leave already? We didn't say a word to each other during the whole tour. Anyway, at the end of the tour, I still to this day don't quite know why I did this, but I just felt compelled on this day to put a little bit more effort in with someone who, frankly, I'd made a decision was not a nice person. Her name was Sandra. Sandra, why did you come here today? Well, I came here because I wanted to look round and, I need some prices because I'm looking at other gyms in the area and blah, 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 blah. But why did you come here today? Like, what are you trying to, I said, what are you trying to achieve? What are your fitness goals? How will life be better when you work out on a regular basis? Well, I put some weight on and I know I need to lose a bit of weight and, I don't feel as good as I used to and, work's stressing me out. And I just thought, joining a gym would probably make me feel a bit better. Nice. Sounds good. Well, we'd love to help you. All those things that you've just said, how will your life be better by doing all those things? How will life be improved? Silence. I'm sorry I was rude when I came in. Work's stressing me out. I'm scared that if I don't lose weight, me and my husband have not been intimate for months. I'm scared that if I don't lose weight, I'm scared that he's either going to leave or have an affair. And then she broke down in tears. Sat her down, got her a tissue, comforted her. 5 minutes later, she's filling her membership form. 10 minutes later, she's hugging me goodbye. 2 weeks later, her husband comes in with her. He joins as well. 12 years later, they're still members of that gym and still married. Why do I tell you that story? Sandra wasn't there for a gym membership. She didn't want a gym membership. She wanted to be intimate with her husband again. She wanted to have a better connection with her husband again. She wanted to make sure that her marriage didn't break down. That's why Sandra joined the gym that day. Be the painkiller, not the vitamin. You're not selling coaching. You're selling a really, really, really beautiful solution to a big problem that person could be experiencing. What is that problem? What is that pain? Last. Third thing, niching made simple. And this is like the final part. Without this part, there is no sale. Without this part, Sandra's marriage breaks down. Without this part, your client goes unserved. And it's this. What is the promise? What does that mean? Well, what that means is, what are they going to get when they buy your program? Nanny, when they buy your program, what are they going to get? What's the result that they will get at the end? When you buy the holiday, what is the promise? Well, in many cases, it's sunshine, all-inclusive food, relaxation, happiness, joy, fulfillment, peace, all those things that people often buy a holiday for. They don't want a holiday. They want peace, joy, happiness, fulfillment, relaxation. That's what people buy a holiday for. When people get a new car, what do they get a new car for? Safety, security, significance, feel good, show off, feel they deserve it. When people go to the gym, what do they do it for? Self-esteem, confidence, happiness, intimacy with husband, marital restoration. So you've got to recognize that when people are buying from you, they're not buying coaching. They're buying the solution to a pain, be the painkiller, not the vitamin. You just got to make sure that you're clear on what the promise is. So, hey, Nanny, when we work together, here's what you can expect. You can expect that within the first 12 months, you'll have got to your first £50,000 as a coach. That's what you can expect. When you come on our training, you can expect to have people saying yes to having a coaching call with you within 72 hours of you finishing the program. You can expect when you come on our program, those of you who haven't been on Master Coach, you can expect that when you come on our program within 72 hours, you've got at least half a dozen people saying yes to having a coaching call with you. And in some people's cases, there's a high likelihood, in the case of some people like Carrie, I know who's here, got her first 2 paying clients within 2 weeks of doing our Certified Elite Performance Coach training. That's the promise. That's what makes the person buy. And you just got to be really clear on what is the promise, what is the result they're going to get. Is it more confidence? Is it more happiness? Is it a better relationship with their significant other? I'm here to tell you the simplest way of clarifying a niche is to think there's only really 3 areas to niche in. So you might be thinking, I still don't know which area to niche in. There's only really 3 to pick from. This is the way the world works, and yours has to fit in one of these 3, some form or another, not because this is the way the world is operating. This is the way people buy. So there's 3 things that people are interested in. They're interested in improving their health, they're interested in improving their wealth, and they're interested in improving their relationships, whether that's personal or business. So wealth, health, relationships, all you've really got to do is think, which one does yours most fit under? Oh, maybe relationships. Okay, cool. Then you can do a niche that's in that sector. But whatever you do, don't try in that particular niche. Don't try on that wraparound to throw in some money building stuff or some health stuff, because it's going to confuse. If you're going to do wealth, which is more to do with finance and stuff, don't try and throw in health in there as well, because people will be confused. Is Harold helping me build my money or my health? I'm confused. And then you become the sea of sameness of driveway people. I can help you with your health, your money, and your relationships. At some point, you can do that. Tony Robbins is an example. In the beginning, Tony Robbins had one particular niche, and it was helping people stop smoking. And then he eventually moved into other niches like relationships and stuff. But it is about mastering one of those 3 areas first, and mastering and making a profitable niche in one of them first before you dive off into others. So that's it. Niching made simple. If you have other questions that you want to ask, please put them in on the chat. Feel free to share the video, tag people in it that you think will find this useful. These shows are going to be happening every week. Today, UK time, it started at 9:30. Moving forward, it's probably going to be more like 10. There should also be a link in the chat somewhere, or it should come in there at some point, with a link to get text message reminders for when I'm going to be going live. So if you like the idea of having reminders as to when I'm going to be going live, feel free to add yourself to that list. For now, though, have a great day. This has been Niching Made Simple, coaching for coaches. See you next week. Peace out. Take care.